Just looking over some statistics. It appears that a recent poll done in late April 29th, up to 90% of the US population still supports the troops. Nothing to do with the war itself, this poll. It was just simply asked, do you still support the troops? And in 2009, 6 years after the invasion of Iraq, 6 years after it's been, well, like 5.5 years after it's been pretty much proven that it's a completely bogus war and has nothing to do with freedom, nothing to do with WMDs, nothing to do with eliminating the, Hussein regime and thus consequentially creating peace over there. No, it just simply has to do with the, imperialism and the oil. So 5.5 years, let's say, after it's been fairly proven, the overwhelming majority of the US population still supports the troops. Not the troops that went in initially, for the most part. No, now we're dealing with people who, after it's been proven, have either decided to re-enlist or have decided to enlist the first time. So it's a different ball game now. I can sort of chalk it up in 03, the support the troops thing. It's always the statement to me has always meant nothing. I mean, it's just support the troops. Yeah, support the troops by telling them, giving them a thumbs up as they go blow themselves up. How is that supporting them? But just for the sake of the argument, let's just say that's not what it means. Let's just say support the troops just meant, bring them home safe or something like that. Okay, fine. There's no way to make this argument, support the troops, and apply it to strictly, make sure they get home safe and we're rooting for them without supporting the enablers of the war, because that's exactly what they are. And no doubt this topic has been discussed to death, but I would have thought that the amount of discussion that's gone on would have led to something other than 90% of Americans still supporting the troops, regardless of what their ideas on the war are. They're still supporting the troops, and there's just no way about it. You support the troops, you are supporting the enablers of the war, because yes, people can cry all they want. So, oh, well, you guys should just take it up with the Bush administration. They're the ones who jump-started this thing. The troops are just doing their jobs. Bullshit. To sit there and pretend as if the troops have no stake in the matter, as if there's no ethical decision for them to make. They're completely inconsequential to this war, and it's enabling the war. I'll say again. No, they are the meat of the war, is the troops. And saying you support the troops in 2009, regardless of how brainwashed they are, or if they got to stand for the money and for the benefits. Sorry, no, I don't buy it. They can get around to supporting themselves in some different way. This war. There's no excuse for it. Certainly, one of the most popular arguments to my position would be that I'm having my cake and eating it too, because you won't hear a peep out of me when it comes to World War II or the initial U.S. Army June of 1775. It's as if these people can't recognize the basic analogy that can exist of, well, let's say you had a bully and the bully terrorized you, and then along came this guy who kicked his ass and made your life better. Yeah, he got rid of your bully for you. But what happens when this same fucker goes and starts terrorizing a bunch of other people? Are you forever indebted to him to the point where you can't even criticize him and say, hey, you know what, I don't support your involvement here. Okay, I know you think you may be doing a good thing by kicking all these other people's asses, but these citizens who you're blowing up, they had nothing to do with, you know, tragedy A, B, C, whatever tragedy you want to use as their motive for kicking their ass, as you know, the guy who got rid of your bully's motive. No correlation whatsoever. You know, the citizens of Iraq did not have a damn thing to do with 9/11, and you know, people want to argue that there's people in Iraq, there's groups that have sort of aided and comforted the hijackers. Well, that's tough shit on us, okay? We can't just go and start blowing everything up because we think that you know, what Russian intelligence or what says so. No, we got to be a little bit more tactful. And if the troops can't make that logical equation in their mind, well, that's too fucking bad. They're not fighting for my freedom. They're not fighting for, you know, peace in Iraq. If anything's been proven over this last 6 years, is that the U.S.'s involvement in Iraq has led to contempt of America, and if anything, has prompted some more terrorists to contemplate more attacks. So yeah, fuck this shit. Fuck it. I don't support the goddamn fucking troops. I don't support you fuckers. I don't find the logical argument in you know, this little guilt trip that you try to force upon us, as if, you know, if we don't support the troops now, well then we don't want a defense mechanism. There's a difference between you know, supporting the idea of a defense mechanism, but also recognizing that when that defense mechanism gets the fuck out of hand, you know, we were allowed to wag our fingers at it and say,